1. Stop copying AWS reference architectures blindly. They may look perfect on paper, but they often miss the mark in real-world applications. Let's uncover how to create a cloud architecture that actually fits your needs. The problem is that AWS reference architectures can be overly complex or simplified. They don't consider your unique workload, budget, or team capabilities. When you implement them without thinking, you risk high costs, performance issues, and wasted resources. 3. The simple explanation: instead of using AWS reference architectures blindly, you should focus on understanding your specific requirements first. Every application has its own needs regarding performance, availability, and cost. Here's the deal: identify your workload characteristics. Determine your traffic patterns. Assess your budget constraints. Once you understand these elements, you can design an architecture tailored to your needs. It doesn't have to be complex, it just needs to be right for you. 4. Real-world example: let's talk about a startup called FitTrack, which developed a fitness tracking application. They initially copied a standard AWS reference architecture for their backend, which included multiple microservices and Kubernetes. While it looked impressive, FitTrack faced significant issues. Monthly costs soared to $15,000, far exceeding their budget of $5,000. The system experienced frequent downtime, with 30 minutes of outages each week during peak usage. The team realized they were over-engineered for their current user base. They had 5,000 active users but built their system to handle 50,000. After reassessing their architecture, they simplified it to a serverless model using AWS Lambda and DynamoDB. This change cut their costs to $2,000 a month and improved uptime to 99.9%. They could scale effortlessly as their user base grew, proving that a tailored approach beats a cookie-cutter one. 5. What to do instead: here's a step-by-step framework to create an architecture that works for you. 1. Assess your workload. Determine if your application is compute-heavy, memory-intensive, or I/O-driven. A data processing application might need more compute resources. 2. Understand traffic patterns. Analyze your user traffic using tools like AWS CloudWatch. Identify peak hours and average request rates. If you have 1,000 requests per minute during peak times, design for that load instead of maximum capacity. 3. Set a budget. Calculate your monthly budget for cloud services. Keep in mind costs for data transfer, storage, and compute. If you have $5,000 a month, outline how many resources you can afford without exceeding that limit. 4. Choose the right services. Instead of copying a reference architecture, select services that match your workload. For example, if you need scalability, consider AWS Lambda or Fargate. 5. Iterate and optimize. Launch with a minimum viable product. Monitor performance regularly and adjust resources as necessary. Use AWS Trusted Advisor for cost and performance recommendations. 6. Common mistakes. 1. Over-engineering. Building a complex system that exceeds needs. Focus on MVP and iterate based on real user feedback. 2. Ignoring cost. Not tracking expenses during development. Use AWS Cost Explorer to monitor your spending. 3. Neglecting performance testing. Launching without load testing. Use tools like Apache JMeter or Gatling to simulate traffic before launch. 4. Relying entirely on reference architectures. Blindly following templates. Analyze your specific requirements and adapt architectures accordingly. 5. Failing to document changes. Not keeping track of architectural decisions. Maintain a living document of your architecture and changes for future reference. 7. Quick checklist. Compute, memory, or I/O. Peak hours and request rates documented? Is it feasible within your limits? Are they cost-effective? Do you have a plan for regular reviews? 8. Summary plus CTA. Stop copying AWS reference architectures without thought. Understand your unique needs, and create a cloud architecture that scales and fits your budget. If you found this helpful, comment below with your biggest takeaway. And don't forget to subscribe for more practical tech insights. Bonus practical tip: if you're unsure what to pick, Start with the simplest option that ships today. Then measure for 7 days, latency, errors, deploy time, and cost. Only upgrade when metrics force the decision, not fear.